In dealing with debt today, major hack attacks may have you concerned about your credit. We are turning to Matt Schulz, the industry analyst at CompareCards.com. Thanks so much for being here, Matt.
Hi, Angie. Thanks for having me.
Capital One recently revealed personal information of more than 100 million customers was exposed in a hack. That information reportedly, in some cases, includes zip codes, email addresses, birth dates, even income and social security numbers. This is scary, and it's becoming all too common. What should consumers do?
With the Capital One hack, it's important that people understand that Capital One is going to reach out to you to let you know if you were somebody who was impacted. And they're going to offer you credit monitoring and some other services that can help you make sure that you don't really feel any impact of this breach. It's important for people to understand that there's no need to panic, and there's also not necessarily anything that you could have done to keep your information safe in this particular instance. The best thing that people can do is protect themselves on the back end. So if you haven't built identity theft checks and fraud prevention checks into your regular financial routine, then you should do it as soon as possible. We're just talking about things like checking your credit report or checking your online bank statements weekly if you can. That sort of thing doesn't take long. It's easy to do, but it really makes an impact.
Matt, we are also learning, due to an overwhelming number of victims reaching out to Equifax for their $125 after that hacking scandal, some of those people won't necessarily get the money, and the FTC is pushing people to take the credit monitoring offered by Equifax. But if you Google around, there are some who say to take the free monitoring, and others say it's something you can do for yourself and it's really not that valuable. What's your thought?
It can be advantageous for folks to take the credit monitoring offer from Equifax, because the truth is that people feel helpless when it comes to these data breaches, and understandably so. And having the ability to have somebody watching out for you and watching over you for that amount of time can bring people a little bit of peace of mind, and that can be a really useful thing.
Matt, any other tips before you take off today?
It's important for people to understand that protecting yourself against identity theft and fraud is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Bad guys can be really patient, and it's a little bit like when you have a break-in in your neighborhood. For the first few days, everybody's installing floodlights and new locks and that sort of thing. And then a month later, everything kind of reverts to normal, and bad guys just have to kind of wait you out. It's a little bit like that with identity theft, because people tend to pay close attention to their information when a big breach like the Capital One breach or the Equifax breach is in the headlines, but then kind of forget about it later. It's important to understand that the bad guys can be very patient, so you need to continue to be diligent from here on out, essentially.
Thank you, as always, for your information and for coming on our show.
Thank you, Angie. Thanks for having me.
For more Business First AM, check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.